Hello and welcome to National Pilates Training Community Classes. My name's Sally and I'm here with Megan Lee at the Pilates Village, ready to deliver the next in my series of intermediate Wunda chair and small apparatus classes. So what you're going to need today is a pole, and we're going to start with a long pole, but if you also have access to a short pole, that would be great. We will need a long box, a reformer long box if possible, and obviously the Wunda chair and the mat. So our focus for today is going to be a little bit more directed towards the hand and the shoulder and the torso, which is a slightly different focus to the last two previous classes, which were focusing on that connection from leg through hip to pelvis. So we are going to start standing with our pole series. So come and join me, just make sure you've got some space in your room, so that you can have your arms coming up and over for our pole series shoulder stretch to start. So just before Megs moves, she's going to come back down again and she's going to take a little moment to think about printing her standing position. So standing up nice and tall, thinking about that footprint firstly. So spreading the toes, pushing down into all 10 toes, including metatarsals, and feeling nice and centered right through the back of the heel pad. She's then going to print all the way up through a strong straight leg, fully extended and active through the knee joint. Then she's going to give some thought to where her pelvis is sitting on top of her thigh bones there. So maybe a little bit more of just a little bit more of a release through the sitting bones there, neck. And then she's going to give some thought to where the rib cage is centered over the pelvis and the shoulder girdle, the neck, and the head. Yes, exactly. So I'm going to come along and just gently get her to feel a little bit more axial length up through the crown of the head. Now we're going to hold on to the pole quite wide and generous to start off with. So definitely wider than your shoulder width. And then we're just going to start breathing in as we lift the pole up overhead. And the exhalation breath is going to draw the arms all the way back over. Good. We're going to reverse that. So the inhale brings the pole back up again and the exhale comes down. Good. Now we're going to make sure that we stay nice and tall through our posture. We're going to lift the arms up into full shoulder flexion. Then we're going to feel how we're rolling that humeral head in the socket to get all the way over into that backward stretch. Good. And then from here, allowing that to roll all the way over and come back up. Now Megs is making sure that as she's mobilizing her shoulder joint, she's staying nice and stable through her torso. So as the arms are coming up and going over, that's going to be that connection down through the sternum. Good, lifting up and over. Great work. And as that becomes a little bit looser, you might find, and Megs is also going to try and come in a little bit narrower on her hand grip. That's it. So she's truly getting that nice stretch through the anterior line of the shoulder. Excellent work. Let's go for one more. Breathing in, we're going to lift up. We're going to use the exhale breath to drop that sternum down as we mobilize the shoulder back. Or maybe that's a little bit too close to me. Coming out a little bit wider, coming up and over. That's better. And coming all the way back down. Fantastic. Facing towards the front now. And we're going to come into our sides. So reaching the arms again all the way up into that full shoulder flexion. And I want you to grip around the pole now and feel like you're pulling the arms away from one another. That's going to create some nice connection and stability back through the arm into the torso. Keeping weight distribution nice and even through both feet, we're going to use an inhale breath to think lateral flexion, initiating from the crown of the head as we reach over to the side. And then the exhalation breath is going to draw us back into the center. Good. So Megs is going to find a bit more energy up through her arms and her pole, and she's going to breathe in and continue to reach out through both arms as she laterally flexes, and then breathing out to draw back. Good. Keep reaching and defying gravity there, Meg. Yep. Inhale over and exhale to pull back. Good. Keeping the weight nice and even through the legs. That's it. She's going to try and keep her head centered between the two arms. Okay. Excellent work. And she's got one more on each side. That's good. Excellent. Last one before we Meg over to the Wunda chair and then back. And then we're going to come straight into our twist. We're going to focus on an inhalation breath, taking us around in the rotation, keeping the arms up if we can. Inhale to rotate, head, neck, ribs. Exhale to draw back to the center. That's it. So we're starting to mobilize those spinal joints in a rotational patterning. Good. We're maintaining that connection through arm to shoulder. So continue to think pole reaching up to the ceiling. Excellent work. Now the pelvis is going to want to come with you, and it can a little bit, but do feel like it's acting as a counter rotator. So the lower portion of the body rotates in opposition to the upper portion of the body. This will be the last one, but make yourself even, make yourself come around to the other side. Excellent work, and relaxing down. Okay, good. Please come down to the mat for me, lying on your side. We're going to start with our breathing in our lateral position. So this is good. Can we stretch the underneath arm out? That's it. And we're just going to think about lining ourselves up through that neutral pelvis and neutral spine. And I will get Meg to slightly flex at the hip and bring the legs a little bit further forward. Very good. We're going to place the top hand just on the lower ribs. That's it. And we're just going to take a moment to feel print. So feeling all of that energy pressing down through the underneath side of the body from the foot through the leg to the pelvis, feeling a gentle lift of the waistline, feeling that heaviness down through the upper rib cage and through the underneath arm. So starting her breathing, that's it, and really directing and focusing that breath laterally into that expansion through the top side of the rib cage as she breathes in. And as she exhales, she's going to feel that natural falling down, but she's also going to pick it up by feeling the underneath rib cage lifting away from the mat and in towards the spine. She's still remembering that we have that aspect of frontal expansion. So she's still going to feel a gentle lift of the sternum pulling away from that thoracic spine. And as she exhales, she's still going to draw in through that front line. Excellent. One more breath. And then she's going to stretch the arm up towards the ceiling. She's going to feel that the palm faces straight ahead and that we're reaching the fingers up towards the ceiling. She's going to use that guide to help maintain that lift on the underneath side of the waist. And we're coming into our abduction. So using an exhale breath, she's going to stretch out through that top leg and lift up. And then inhale and lower back down. Good. Feeling the pressure down through the underneath side for stability as she mobilizes that hip and works hip abductors. Good. So Meg, I'm going to get you to lift up a little higher and hold. Good. How much higher can you get maintaining parallel with that leg and then lower back down? Very good. We've got two more like that. The exhalation breath challenges us as we come right up. How far can we go? And then lower back down. Good. And exhale, lift. So as the leg is lifting, the underneath side of the rib cage is still staying lifted. She's pulling in through that exhalation breath into her center and lower back down. Both legs squeeze together, we come into obliques. So she's now going to kick in from that underneath leg. Underneath adductor is going to start pressing the top leg as she hovers. And inhale, lower back down. Excellent. This is where that breathing is now key. You're going to exhale and find the stability as you lift up, and then inhale and lower back down. Very good. Exhale to lift. Good. Final one. Good. I'm going to get her to a cheeky little hold there. So can she hold and breathe? Keep focusing on that underneath leg, really lifting up to the top leg, top arm reaching up to the ceiling. Keep the breath flowing in and out for the stability as we hold isometrically. One last breath. Very good. Lower down and rest. Fantastic. Please do the same on the other side. I need you to turn around. Head down this way. Legs out straight. Legs a little forward of the ASISs there. And then we're going to organize ourselves so that we've got the alignment from pelvis through rib cage through to head. Thinking about neutral pelvis, neutral spine, hand onto the top rib and into our breathing and sideline position. So we've got that focus on the lateral expansion now, especially through the top side rib cage, that stretch of tissue. And as she exhales, she's feeling that relaxation, but also that lift against gravity on the underneath side of the ribs. So full breaths in and out. And although the focus against gravity is that lateral connection, we're still thinking front to back. Excuse me. Bless you. Breathing in. And feeling that sternum dropping down, feeling the rib caging closing around the spine. Excellent work. Please reach your arm up towards the ceiling and take a moment just to reset. The fingers are reaching up out of the socket. We're going to feel the lift of the underneath rib cage away from the floor, and we're going to use the next exhale breath to come into abduction. The top leg lifts up as high as we can. We inhale and lower back down. Very good. Exhale to lift. So as we're getting full abduction at the hip there, we're finding the stability by pressing the underneath side foot down into the mat as well. Good. A good challenge on her balance, but she's going to really work on how the exhalation breath stabilizes her through her center to enable her to move with ease from the limb. Good. Squeeze those legs together for me, please, Meg. Let's come into our obliques. So dialing up that connection and stability, exhale to lift and float the legs, and inhale to lower back down. We've now got the driver as that underneath leg. The adductor presses and lifts up through that top leg, and we're going to feel the loading through the top side obliques. Good. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Last one and hold. Good. From here, we're breathing. We're making sure that we're feeling nice and long from head to toe. The breath continues to stabilize us, and we're going to continue to work up through those legs a little bit more. Can we lift a little higher? And hold. One more breath. Excellent work. And lower down and rest. Please meet me in a supine position, getting ready for our pelvic curls. Bit of parallel and hip width. And I just want you to place some focus now down from arm through shoulder and into torso. That's it. So just taking a moment to feel where that thoracic cage sits against gravity right now. Feeling where your shoulder girdle is sitting. Focusing on that alignment through your neck and your head. And I do want you to feel that you're consciously pressing gently through the palm of the hand, through the back of the arm line, to connect actively from hand into shoulder and then into torso. Good. We're going to come into pelvic curls. So obviously we're going to be pressing gently and printing through the feet. Meg, on your next exhale, we're going to start to imprint and roll straight up into the pelvic curl. Good. At the top, you're going to inhale. As you exhale, draw the sternum down. Keep the pressure through the arms as you start to roll back through that lumbar articulation until we get back to our neutral pelvis. Excellent. So we're going to imprint. We're going to feel how the load presses down through the feet to assist the hip extension. But we're still going to focus on the arms pressing as equally as the feet are pressing right now. And we're going to maintain that pressure as we start to drop the sternum and focus on articulating down through the torso and the rib cage. Very good. We've got one more. Good. Reaching the sitting bones towards the knees, reaching the knees over the toes. Good. And then starting to gently roll back down. Fantastic. Now, Meg, we're going to come into some pelvic presses. So maintaining your neutral pelvis and neutral spine and the pressure through the arms and the torso and the feet. We're now going to use an exhale breath to press that pelvis and spine up in your neutral. And then we're going to lower back down. So you've got to feel like your sitting bones are reaching towards your heels as you lay down so the sacrum lands first. Good. From here, we press back up again. Let's go a little faster. So we're going to exhale to push. We're going to inhale to fold at the hip to come back down. Good. Exhale to press and inhale to fold back down. So the movement now is initiated from that hip extension and then on the way down, maintaining neutral through the pelvis and the spine as we flex the hip to return. We've got two more. Keep pressing through those arms. Excellent work. And final one. Good. Legs are going to come up into a tabletop position. And we're going to come into your hundreds next. Good. Feet together, knees apart to start. And then I'm going to get you to stretch your arms all the way back over your head, thinking pole one, where your sternum is drawing down towards your pubic bone. And I'm just going to get you to float the arms up a little higher to see if you can get that sternum to drop down a little bit more. Excellent. We're going to come up into 3 of your preps. So you're going to come into your chest lift and extend your legs as you exhale. You're going to breathe in to fold those legs back in, reach the arms back overhead. Good, control the torso. And exhale to progress, reach strong through those legs. Now pull the knees and the arms back together. Excellent work. And exhale, feel the sternum slide down. Good, lowering back down, and let's stay up for the hundreds. You can modify where you need. So curling up, let's come into our hundreds, breathing. Good, and focusing on that breath. That's it. Good. Let's modify a little bit. Let's have those legs coming up a little higher, because I want you to focus on that stretch and that reach of the arms. Very good. So we can get that breath to come right back into the back of the rib cage and that full compression through the abdominal wall as you exhale. Good. Now let's make those arms a little bigger and a little stronger. Yes. So we're getting that nice disassociation through the shoulder joint. And that nice strong pump to activate through the arms and act as that pump. Circulation pump. Excellent work. I'm not very good at counting, so this is going to be the last one. Oh, good. Excellent. You're going to still your arms. Good. You're going to fold the knees in, lower the head down, and give yourself a little bit of a hug there. Very good. Stretch out for a moment. We're going to come into our spine twist supine next. So back up into your tabletop position with the legs, and we're going to bring the arms out to the side with the palms facing down. That's it. So take a moment to connect the feet, feel the anchoring of the legs into the hips. Good, and just taking an exhalation breath for me to start, and I want you to really feel that dropping of the sternum and the imprint of the ribs. Now we're going to breathe in to tilt the pelvis and initiate that rotation. And then the exhalation breath, you're going to find that imprint and connection through the sternum and torso. Good. Inhale takes us into the rotation spiral, and then exhale draws us back. That's good. So although the focus is through the arms and the torso right now, still give some thought to your neutral pelvis and maintaining that lumbar curve. That's better. So as the weight of the pelvis goes over, we're really feeling that counter rotation through the ribs. Last one each side. Very good. And hug those knees in. Good, Meg. You're going to roll over. We're going to come to a 4-point kneeling position next. Please bring your head down towards the Wunda chair end, just with enough room to stretch your legs back behind you. So taking a moment just to bring yourself into your 4-point or quadruped print. That's it. Now I want you to focus on the hand pushing. Good. You're going to focus on the inner aspect of the elbow. Yeah, not directly looking in, maybe sort of a 45-degree angle, sort of crossing on a diagonal that way. And then really pushing so that we're feeling that serratus rhomboid, yes, exactly, connection to maintain that scapular stability. Length out through the head and the neck with nice wide sitting bones there. This looks good, Meg. A couple of breaths here for me, so we can really feel the opposition between the hands pressing down and how the breath gathers the rib cage, especially those front ribs and sternum, and pulls them right up towards the back of the body. Feel how that helps us to also engage and get that abdominal control. Good, and on your next exhale breath, we're going to step both feet back out into our front support position and hold. Good. Now holding it here and breathing, really reaching those heels back, and just focus back to when we were standing in that print standing, where are our feet, strong straight legs, organization of pelvis through spine to torso, neck and head. Excellent work. You've got 2 more breaths holding it here. Keep focusing on that opposition between hands and feet pushing in and how the breath gathers up the body against gravity to find that muscle recruitment. Come back down, push yourself back into your rest position. And the warm-up is done. Fantastic. We're going to come over to the Wunda chair now and get ready for our double-legged footwork. I'm just going to move this over. Thank you. Okay. So next, please sit on. We're going to start off with our heels on, parallel hip. So put the head all down just to get ourselves organised. Excellent. And I'm going to get you to start with your arms down. Exactly. So we're going to feel that the palm is flat there and pushing back into that seat top. So we've got this connection through that neutral wrist right up into the torso. Awesome work. Now, once we've got that nice tall seated position, we're going to start to breathe in to pick that Wunda chair pedal up and breathing out to press down. Really focusing on that movement from the hip joint. So how far up can we lift the pedal and flex at the hip? And then exhale, we've got that breath stabilizing us as we start to extend through the hip joint. Good. So we're continuing to focus on that connection from the hand through arm into torso. And we're really feeling that nice connection and sense of stability while we press into this double-legged footwork. You've got one more leg, and then you're going to bring the pedal back to about halfway. You're going to switch straight into your toes in position. Good. From here, I'm going to get you to bring your hands out to the side, but you're going to reach them out to the side with the palms facing up towards the ceiling. Very good. Drawing those shoulders down, and I'm going to get you to bring your arms a little bit further forward there, exactly, so we can feel that connection through the shoulders. Okay, so we've got 4 just here. Breathing out as you press down, pressing through the toes, keeping the heels squeezing, and then inhale as you lift up. Good. Feeling the opposition between the pedal load pushing down and the spine and the crown of the head reaching up. We're going to add a twist to that now. So as you press down, can you rotate towards the camera? Very good. Back to the center. Good. And over to the other side, we're going to alternate. Very good. So adding that coordination challenge of being able to press and rotate, finding stability from sitting bones through to toes, through the lower portion of the body, and then being able to mobilize through that thoracic spine in rotation, but feeling how the arms contribute, opposition between the arms, reach, and then come back to the center. Very good. Twisting around and coming back to the center. Very good. Let's relax down. We're going to step those heels out wide, and we're going to bring the hands behind the head. This time for our double leg press, you're going to add a lateral flexion. Good, so interlace the fingers, let the hands guide the head in relation to the rib cage. Now, starting with the pedal up and the shoulders relax down, you're going to push the pedal as you coordinate that lateral flexion, and then you're going to lift the pedal and return back to the center. Good. Breathing in as you laterally flex, and then exhale as you draw back to the center. Good. I'm just going to keep you back a little here. That's it. Inhale. Now, can you feel maybe that the top elbow is reaching up to the ceiling more? Yes. And then back to the center. So you're feeling that you've got this opposition between the toes pressing and that top elbow lifting. Good. One more on each. Very nice work. And last one. Good. And relax and rest. That will do. We're going to come up and off and into our calf press. So we're just going to go down a little bit in the spring load. I've just got 2 on the bottom just for they to work a little lighter. Okay, so from here, we're going to press the pedal all the way down to the ground first. I like to set the toe onto the pedal so that we can feel that we have that whole big toe on. And then from here, the knee comes up. We've got the patella sitting on top and we're wedging through onto the chair. Does that feel stable? Yep. Okay. So once you've then found your position where the pelvis is square, and have we jumped this foot back as far as we can? No. Let's do that. Yeah, exactly. So we're challenging the length of that lower leg. And then we're going to bring the hands back behind the head. Okay, so feeling length from head to heel. And then we're just going to start to use the exhalation breath to push the toe down. And we're going to focus on, just go a little slower, Meg, on that lifting back up of the pedal. So how much further up can we get the toe to lift? So as the pedal is coming up, we're going to draw that heel all the way down. Now we've just got one more here. We're going to continue now with the same foot press, but we're adding a rotation of the torso. So as you push the pedal down, you're going to rotate head, neck and ribs around towards that bent leg, and then inhale to come back. Very good. Now it's not going to be a very big movement, same way. So you're going to push the toe down and rotate. That's it. We really have to focus on that pelvic stability as you twist. Good. And back to the center, and one more time. Very good. Coming back to the center, hands back down onto the chair and safely coming off. Good. All of that on the other side. So setting the toe on the pedal and setting the other foot back so you've got adequate stretch through the lower leg. And then you're going to start to lift and set. Exactly, kneecap on top. Good. Finding your balance and interlacing the hands and bringing them behind your head, feeling that length from head to heel. I'm going to exhale to go into that plantar flexion and inhale to go into that dorsiflexion, exactly. So the pushing down press, keeping all the metatarsals on, and then slowly lifting up, letting the front of the ankle control that flexion as the heel reaches down towards the floor. Good. This is the last one. We're going to start to add rotation towards that bent leg. Rotate head, neck, ribs, and then draw back to the center. That's it. So we're really feeling the stability right now through both legs and working that control and precision. There is, you are working very well. Excellent work. You've got one more. Good. And then you're going to bring the hands on and carefully come off. Very good. Okay, from here, we are going to come straight up into your pike and into your oblique pike. Feet on, let's have the toes on. Yes. And then we're going to bring the hands right to the front portion of the chair.
Sticky neck.
Yes.
Splitting.
So Meg's going to find her start position here, and she's going to think about grounding all 10 toes parallel hip width, but especially being strong and straight from hand through arm into shoulder. Now we're going to shift that body weight forward just enough to start to pick that pedal up. She's going to use an exhale breath to really lift that waistline up to the ceiling, and then slowly start to tuck the pelvis under as you roll back down. Good. Keep feeling that the arms are pushing, the sternum is lifting, that lumbar spine is lifting. Now she's going to find an imprint to find her way back down. Excellent work. We've got two more. Those legs are strong and straight. Exactly. Feel how the legs lift up into the hip, lift the back of the pelvis to the ceiling. And last one, she's going to lift up using that exhalation breath, press and lift. And slowly coming all the way back down to rest. Great work, Meg. Please turn around for me so you're sitting onto the chair, facing out. That's it, facing out. Good. We're going to come towards this way first. So what you're going to do is you're going to press that pedal all the way down to the ground. Once it's down, you're going to twist around and your feet are already in position and your hands are already in position, ready to come into our oblique pike. So from here, we're going to make sure that the shoulders are nice and square to your new front. And from here, the feet are nice and connected to the pedal. Now we're going to find the strength from this front hand. We're going to be pushing in, feeling the opposition between the palm and the ribs lifting. So that sternum is going to lift right up towards the spine to activate through the obliques to lift and lower back down as you breathe in. Exhale to press predominantly through the front hand and then lower back down. You've got 2 more on this side. Exhale as you lift. Very good. Control back down. Keep trying to square those shoulders off. Last one. And exhale, lift. Good work. Slowly lower down, bring yourself back to your seated position. Or swap those stick mats over, ready to come seamlessly into the other side. Okay, so from here, the shoulders are nice and square, and you're going to use your exhalation breath to press predominantly into that front hand as you lift, and then slowly controlling back down. Well done. Keep trying to square off those shoulders. Yes, good. So you're going to feel a nice shortening through this outer side of the body and a lengthening. Good. Well done. You've got 1 more to go. Exhale to lift. And then slowly lower back down and rest. But you can sit back up. And then you can very carefully lift that all the way up. Fantastic. So we're going to come into your side reach now. So into the seated one. So you're going to face the front. Good. All right, then we're going to bring the hands behind the head to start. That's it. And again, I like that hand position because it helps us to feel proprioceptively where that head is in relation to the ribs and the pelvis. Good. Now maybe you're going to take a lean over. So you're going to tilt over to the side, maintaining that neutral pelvis and lean as far as you can. Good. Now from here, you're going to release the hand closer to the pedal and start to laterally flex to bring yourself over and then down. So the lateral flexion initiates the movement of the pedal as you press over. And then you're going to roll back up again, feeling that the crown of the head is reaching away from the foot that is pushing onto the mat. And then from here, start from the head and the neck. So the ear drops to the shoulder. We think lateral flexion through the thoracic spine, pushing the hand down. So we've got this opposition between the hand pushing, the top side of the ribs lifting towards the ceiling, and then we're going to slowly start to lift back up again. And as you lift, you're feeling that opposition between foot pushing and crown of the head reaching. Nice work. Let's go down. Head, neck, push through the hand, lift the underneath side of the ribs, and laterally flex through the rib cage. Good. Slowly come back up again. Feel the grounding of the foot and the lengthening through the head. We've got 1 more. That's it. And then slowly come back up again. Foot grounded, head lifted. Onto the other side. Okay, so interlacing the fingers, bringing the hands behind the head. Good. And I'm just going to get you to sit back into those sit bones and bring this foot a little bit further forward for me so you can feel that we're nice and grounded. Yeah, good. Okay, so from here we're going to lean over to the side. Think long, inhale, reach the head away from the grounded foot. And now releasing the hand and slowly working a lateral flexion to bring you down. And then you're going to think about how the hand connects onto the pedal and how that helps to stabilize the shoulder as we laterally flex. And then we're going to slowly come back up again. And as we return, we're feeling the head reaching out of the pelvis. That's it. And then from here, the neck starts to flex, the hand pushes, and we're going to start to come over. Very good. From here, we start to rebuild up again, lengthening the head, pressing down through the foot. Good. Let's go for 2 more. That's it. Well done. And coming all the way back up again. Great. Now hold it there for me. Maybe bring your head and your ribs back. Yes. Think long through your sternum. And then we're going to start to come over. That's better. That's better. And then come all the way back up again. And rest. Very good. Okay, you can stay sitting on here. I'm going to bring the box to you. We're going to come into our short box series. Yeah, excellent. So this is where I'm going to give you the poll in a moment, but we're going to start with a little round back into our genie. So just making sure that there is enough room behind you, like a handspan, between the edge and where your pelvis is sat. Exactly, and we're going to start with the arms folded. Now from here, Megs is going to sit up nice and tall. She's going to initiate with her imprint and she's going to start to roll. The chin is going to immediately tuck in and she's focusing on that movement coming from that hip extension. Her knees are driving forward. We're trying not to move the knees, but we're trying to move the spine and open the hip. We're going to breathe in to hold. We're going to breathe out to initiate from the crown of the head, coming forward in that spinal flexion, bringing shoulders over hips, and we're going to re-stack nice and tall. Very good. Let's go again. We're going to imprint and roll. So she's going to think pubic bone towards sternum. She's moving the pelvis back away from her femurs. She's extending the hip. Very good. Breathing in, breathing out, navigate forward from the crown of the head, and then sitting up nice and tall. Good. And again, imprint. Soften the sternum, roll back, knees reaching forward. Well done. Exhale to come forward, come up and restack. Right. We're going into our flat back now, so please grabbing the pole, reaching that all the way up over your head. And like we had the pole earlier, can we feel like we're using that grip strength and we are pulling the arms away from one another to get that strong connection from hand back into torso. And so Meg is also going to think, as much as she's reaching that pole right up over the crown of her head, her ribs are funneling back down towards her hips. Now from here, we're going to use an inhale breath to reach back, hinging at the hip. We extended the hip on the inhale, exhale, reach the pole to the ceiling. Good. Inhale and reach back. And exhale, reach the pole to the ceiling and come forward. We've got two more. Inhale, open the hip joint. Exhale, lift and close. Good. Last one. Inhale and lift and close. We're going straight into our side to side. Inhale, she's going to tilt and lean. Exhale, back to the center. So breathing in, make sure you reach out long through the waist and then add lateral flexion and then come back to the center. One more to each side. Breathing in, we lean and flex and then back to the center. Good. And then the last one, inhale. Yep. Excellent work. And we're going to finish with a twist.
Oh, I've got to go on with that side.
Twist and lean. That's okay. Breathing in, you're going to rotate. Good. From here, we're going to reach out and back. Good. We're coming back up and center. Good. We're going to breathe in and reach. We're breathing out, come back and center. One more on each side. Reach out through the arms and pole and back to the center. Keep those sitting bones grounded. Breathe in. Back to the center and rest. Well done. Very good. You can carefully come out from there. And just going to move a few things around. So let's bring the mat back in. Excellent work. And we're going to come down and sit in front of the mat for a spine stretch forward variation. Good. So we're going to have the legs a little wider than they would normally be, just to navigate around the frame of the Wunda chair. Just push down for that. Do you want to go a little bit lighter?
Yeah, it's fine.
That feels okay? All right. So we're going to sit up in our neutral position. We've got the hands connected onto that pedal, just so that we can, and we're going to push down a little bit, just so that we can bring that awareness from hand back into shoulder. Now Megs is going to come back into her roll back or imprinted position. So she's going to roll through that posterior pelvic tilt, soften the sternum, and we're going to feel that spine pulling away from the pedal, which initiates the move of the pedal. She's going to restack and come back up again. So you can see it's a little variation of our spine stretch forward because we are rolling back. So from here, we're going to imprint, roll back off those sitting bones, pull the waistline back, connecting through the arms and shoulders, and then we're going to re-stack and come back up again. Nice work. Exhalation breath. Feel the movement of the pelvis and the spine. Initiates that press of the pedal and feeling that connection from hand through arm into shoulder. Re-stack back up again. You've got one more. Good. And then come back up again. Excellent. So then we're going to continue with spine stretch forward, but I'm going to get you to do the Matwork version. So just move yourself back a little bit. I like the pole because it's going to help you to use what you've just felt on here to see if you can bring those learnings back into your body. So we're going to bring those feet in a little bit narrower. Good. We're going to feel the connection from hand through arm into shoulder. And now we're going to start with the nod of the chin. So we're going to nod the chin. We're going to start to soften the sternum, and Megs is going to start rolling forward this time. But what she's feeling is the opposition between the sternum pulling back towards her thoracic cage as she reaches the pole forward towards her toes to stretch her spine. Breathe in to hold. She's going to breathe out to restack from pelvis through spine to head as she comes up. Nice work. And again, nod the chin. Feel the sternum pull back to create thoracic flexion. Feel the reach forward of the arms and the poles to keep the opposition through the body. Breathe in to hold. Breathe out to restack from sitting bones up to crown of head. Last one. Exhale. Nod the chin, soften the chest, and reach the pole forward. Good. Breath in into the back of the rib cage, and then re-sit from sitting bones to crown of the head. Excellent work. We're going to come into the Matwork saw. So legs a little bit wider, arms reaching out to the side. We're using our inhale breath to add rotation through the torso. And we're going to use the exhalation breath to reach towards the little toe 3 times. Check that the back hand is rolled in as pushing up to the ceiling. Good. We're going to use the inhale breath to twist back around to the front and over to the other side. And we're going to exhale. Good. That's it. So we're going to feel the grounding of the sitting bones from leg through to hip. And then we're going to twist and mobilize through that thoracic rotation and stretch all the muscles along the back of the body. Good. Using that exhalation breath, really feeling like you're emptying the lungs and how the arms are working in opposition to rinse or empty the lungs of air. Good. Excellent. One more time. Breathing in, we twist. Breathing out. Good. Now keep thinking about that thoracic cage and the abdominal wall pulling back. Do one more on this side for me, Meg. Twist around. And now think sternum pulls back. Yes, so we're getting that nice spinal flexion. Fantastic. And rest. Now we're going to open the hips up because we're going to go into your kneeling glute series. Please come and sit on the mat for me. Sit. Sorry, kneeling on. Well, I was going to get you put ankle weights on, but we were just discussing Meg's has got a little space assist behind the knee. So we're actually not going to load her today with our kneeling glute series. So you're welcome to grab a pair of ankle weights if you wish for this series or not. Come along with us. So Megs is bringing herself into her quadruped position and she's finding her neutral position through the pelvis and spine and feeling that we're pushing down through the elbows to create torso control. We've got 2 of the series here. So we're going to come into our bent leg lift to start. Megs is shifting the weight and bringing the working leg up to start. Just making sure that we haven't dumped all of the weight to the supporting side hip. And then from here, we're going to lower the knee down towards the mat as she breathes in. And the exhalation breath is going to extend the hip. Good. Keep going. Let's go for 6. So Megs is really thinking abdominal control here. Every time she exhales, she's drawing the abdominals up towards the spine. And she's going to continue to think about those elbows pushing into the box. For her torso control, that is enough. We straighten the leg out. And we're going into the straight leg lift. So I'm just giving Meg some proprioceptive feedback here with my hands gently around her ASIS. She's going to use an exhalation breath And she's lifting the leg, good. Now, hold it there for me, Meg. Put the toe back onto the floor. Can you kick and extend that knee all the way out to straight? Excellent. Now the leg is only going to lift as far as that knee can stay straight. Good, that's it. She's going to keep feeling that torso control. Good, and she's going to squeeze it to her end range. Go and squeeze. Go kick that knee. Yes. Good, resting down, relax. Take a little cat stretch to clear. I always feel like my body needs that, a little reset. And then coming back, ready for the second side. So she's shifting the weight onto her supporting side without moving the pelvis laterally. She's working through those obliques to stabilize. Good. Let's start with the knee down on the floor and really feeling that parallel alignment. And then from here, exhaling to lift that short lever up and inhale to come back down. Exhale to lift. Very good. So again, I'm just using a bit of tactile cueing with my hand on the back of the pelvis, but also just underneath on her abdominal wall. And that's really keeping her true to that hip extension. Straightening the leg, good, Megan. You're going to really reach out through the back of that knee. Exhale, breath. Just lifting the thigh and lowering back down. Very good. Don't feel that you need to lift it high at all. Good. Keep thinking abdominal control. Well done. 2 to go. Good. And then relaxing that knee, take another cat stretch for me, or sit back into your rest position, even better, as long as that's okay for that Baker cyst. Good. And gently coming all the way back up. Fantastic. As we are down on the mat, we're going to come back to our chair and we're getting ready for our side arms kneeling. So just turning yourself side onto the chair. I'm going to drop that spread tension down to about 1 or 2. And then you're going to bring your hands, interlace the fingers and bring them behind the head again. That's it. So our upright kneeling position is somewhere where we haven't been, but I've hopefully just opened up your hip flexors and activated your hip extensors so that this is a little bit more accessible. So in this lateral position, we've got the hands behind the head to bring our torso and head upright. Now we're going to start with a little lean over to the side. So Meg, I'd like you to breathe in to start that lateral flexion over to the pedal, keeping equal weight through both knees and exhale to come back to the center. We're now going to move away. So we're breathing in, moving away. We're breathing out to come back. Good. So on this next one, we're going to ready ourselves for our side arms kneeling. We're placing the hand onto the pedal. And can you push that pedal down and hold it there? Right now, we want to still feel that we're in that plane. Good. We've got opposition between the palm of the hand and the top elbow lifting. And now to press the pedal down, we're increasing that lateral flexion through the spine. So we exhale to push down. We inhale to bring ourselves back out of the movement. Exhale. As the hand is pushing, the top elbow is lifting, and then we're bringing the spine back out of that lateral flexion. Very good. Equal pressure through both knees, especially pinning that outer knee down, keeping the pelvis open. Very good. You've got 1 more. Good. Bring the pedal back to resting and carefully turning around to the other side. So we'll start with the same little preparation. So once you're in your upright kneeling position, setting yourself in that neutral pelvis and neutral spine, and do feel like you're trying to bring the pelvis forward over the patellas. And you'll feel how much more your abdominals and hip extensors have got to activate now. Well done. We're laterally flexing towards the pedal as you breathe in. Good. Exhale, we're going to restack back to our center. Inhale away. And then exhale back to the center. We're going to come over and find the pedal. Feeling that the palm of the hand connects, the fingers are pointing straight ahead and you're pushing down. That's it. Now from here, I'm going to get in on this side. I'm going to check that the collarbone is nice and broad. And Megan's going to start to laterally flex, but as she's pushing down through that Wunda chair pedal, I'm just giving her a little bit of assistance to feel that lift of the underneath rib and then come back up. And the challenge is to come into lateral flexion without the hips flexing. That's it. So that's why I'm giving her that cue of, and I'll come in and use some hands on now. As the pedal is pushing down, the elbow's lifting up to the ceiling. That's it. So it's not all that compressive movement and focus going down into the pedal load. We're using that pedal load to facilitate that lift and opposition. Good, you've got one more on this side. Very nice. Restack all the way back up again. Let that pedal spin come up. Good. So our full body challenge today is going to be the side support. So I'm just going to clear the box off the mat. And Meg, I'm going to get you to come and sit, turn around for me to start. And your side support, come down this way first, is going to start with the legs bent and the arms stretched away. That's it. Very good. Okay, so before we begin, we're going to think about everything that we've planned and ready for this class. We're spreading the fingers, we're pressing into the hand, we're feeling that shoulder alignment ready for load. Very good. And then just check that we're the right distance away, Meg. I'm going to get you to launch from your feet and reach your body weight over the hand. Yes, well done. Good. And from here, we're just going to return back. Very good. Let's do that a couple more times. So we're pressing from the feet and we're bringing the load of the torso over the hand shoulder. And then we're returning back. Excellent work. Press from the feet and lift up. Lower back down. We're going to stay on the next one. She's going to press out and hold. Good. She's feeling that lift from hand to hand. She's feeling strong through those legs. She's feeling long from head to foot and absolutely active and engaged through the underneath side of the body. Well done, Meg. You're going to come down and rest straight over to the other side.
This one works.
That was good.
So maybe not so good.
So maybe we might need to modify. Let's give it a go. So from here, set the hand, we're pressing in, set the shoulder ready for load. So roll that collarbone open and see if you can center that arm in the socket a bit more. Yeah, well done. Now, from here, push from the feet, bring the load of the shoulders over the wrist, feel opposition between the arms, and slowly come back down. Good. From here, we're going to press from the feet and lift up. Well done. We're going to control back down again. For the next 2, Meg, you're going to try and bring your head back in space a little bit, but not by lifting the chin. Okay, from here, we're going to come up. So you're going to think sternum down. Yes. Like a little chin nod. Well done. Okay, we're coming out, we're holding. Very good. We're feeling that opposition between the arms. Meg's correction is sternum back. And like she's doing a little chin tuck, lengthening through. Yes, well done. She's got, sorry, that's fine. That's shoulder. She's done. Good, come down and rest. Fantastic. Turning around.
It's not as strong, sorry.
Don't apologise. Okay, we're coming into a mermaid as our cool down. So you can either cross your legs or a long diamond sit, but we're going to start with both arms stretched out to the side. Good. Have them a little bit lower. Yeah. Excellent. And I'm going to get you to open up those collarbones, draw the shoulders down, and we're going to lift up a little taller through the crown of the head. Now from here, we're going to lean over to the side into our tilt as we breathe in. The exhalation breath thinks rotation of the spine as we bring the hands together. From here, we're going to breathe in to come into our lateral flexion, and then breathe out to come back to our start position. Long through the waist, we lean and tilt on the inhale, and then exhale. The hand sweeps around, but we're really feeling how the rib cage is rotating around the spine. We're going to come out into our side reach. We're going to feel a bit more control on the underneath shoulder. Open it up. Yep. And then coming all the way back to the side. Excellent. And reach to the side tilt. And then rotate head, neck, ribs. Feel the grounding of the sitting bones. Back into our side reach. Good. I'm just going to get you to think, yes. And back up. And let's go one more. We're going to lean over to the side as we breathe in. The exhalation breath rotates through the torso. Feel the hand on the floor pushing and assisting the rotation of the ribs back into our side reach. Good. and coming all the way up. And we are done. Just going to high five you. It's quite hot in the studio today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.